Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Dobro jutro, dobar dan, dobar večer, as I would greet you in Croatian. My name is Damir Mance. I'm an architect from Croatia, speaking from Zagreb. I'm senior lecturer at Faculty of Architecture, University of Zagreb, Department of Architectural Technology and Building Science, section of Planning and Project Management. As a researcher, I studied project management in BIM, with focus on standards and information management, specifically during the design phase. I'm a member of many expert associations promoting, sharing experiences, and educating BIM. At the same time, I'm a director of a small architectural company, Arhitectura Minimal, through which I practice building design and BIM application in real life. I have been a member of the community of BIM Excellence since 2017, and at BIMe initiative, I'm involved at BIM Dictionary Project in its translations to Croatian as Croatian language editor. I'm honored, and it's my pleasure to be the host of Day 2 of the first Excellence Seminar of the BIM Excellence organization. So, warmer welcome to everyone. Dobrodošli. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's presentation hosted by my dear colleague Regina Rushell. She set up a high standards for teams on Day 2 and Day 3, and I hope we will meet the high expectations today. This first Excellence Seminar will present the work developed by BIM Excellence Initiative community. It will be a milestone for learning, knowledge, and information exchange. Now let me give you a little bit intro on the BIM Excellence Initiative. This is our first, or should I say second, if we count yesterday, public presentation. The aim of this Excellence Seminar is to introduce the BIMe Initiative community. Currently, over 130 volunteers from more than 40 countries work together to deliver useful resources and open access tools for free use. The BIM Initiative is a group effort to help practitioners to improve their digital workflows and deliverables. Organizations and individuals who share our enthusiasm for digital transformation are welcome to join our supporters program. The BIMe Initiative is non-profit knowledge generation and sharing effort undertaken by volunteer researchers from both industry and academia. The BIMe Initiative provides a community-based, research-driven alternative to top-down, authority-led, and prescriptive BIM diffusion policies. Supported by clear knowledge structures, a network of international experts, and an expanding modular language, the BIMe Initiative delivers an innovative, coherent, and timely response to the opportunities and challenges brought forward by BIM adoption at all organizational scales. The BIMe Initiative aims to improve the performance of individuals, organizations, and project teams in the construction industry. So let me take a moment to give you an overview of our schedule. Once again, we hope that you enjoyed yesterday's session, and if you missed it, you can watch it on BIMe Initiative YouTube channel. I highly recommend. The main topic yesterday was macro adoption project. And today we will start presentations with the knowledge sharing and the performance improvements project. This session will explain the inner research dynamics of the BIMe Initiative and how it organizes its projects and deliverables. It will also discuss the planned extensions of the initiative's knowledge-sharing efforts to reach more students, researchers, and practitioners. We will have a board from BIMe Initiative supporter, and after that we will present the Competency and Learning project. This session will be a brief presentation covering the planned efforts to develop and deliver competence-based learning materials for all to freely use. This presentation will be followed by questions and answers, when the presenters will answer the questions of the public. We will also present the BIM Dictionary Project. This session will clarify how the platform is used by students, practitioners, and policymakers to encourage consistency and improve understanding. The session will also provide insights in how terms are selected, translated, and reviewed by knowledgeable peers, and explain the effort to align with international standards. The session will then discuss the strategy to extend the dictionary into the built environment's most reliable knowledge base for process innovation and digital transformation. This presentation will also be followed by second questions and answer sessions. Tomorrow, on Sunday, we will present insights from our growing community and the integrated information project. Once again, our supporters will have a moment with us. Finally, after 3 days together, we will finish with the closeout session. And now a little bit of housekeeping. First, about the public that is with us today. We had a total booking of 778 participants on the website, 2,640 reservations on LinkedIn through the days of June 24th to July 23rd. We already have over 2,500 views of yesterday's presentation so far, so thank you all for your support. We have a diverse group of individuals varying from architects, engineers and urban designers, contractors, fabricators and asset operators. Educators, researchers and students are the second group of interest, followed by developers. Thank you all for joining us today. Sharing knowledge is one of our main principles in BIMe initiative. I would like to point out that your comments are very much welcomed throughout seminar. So participate in YouTube, commenting and asking questions, on Facebook chat as well. Your comments are much appreciated. Some of your comments and questions will be forwarded to the presenters in the questions and answers sessions. It will be a moment of interaction. You can send questions after sessions through contact us at bimexcellence.org. This seminar will also be recorded and available on YouTube. Posts of the seminar on social networks are most appreciated. Use hashtag #ExcellenceSeminar. Please visit us at bimexcellence.org for more information. So, let's start with the first session of our first Excellence Seminar. Now, Bilal Sukar, Director at Change Agents AEC and founder of BIMe Initiative, will present the Knowledge Sharing and Performance Improvements Project. Welcome, Bilal. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Damir, for this wonderful, host start speech. It's really great to have you as our host today, and thank you also to our host of yesterday, Professor Regina Rochelle. Look forward. Thank you all for joining us again, and for people who are just attending. I would advise again, as Damir said, to watch day one. You'll find lots of things that we're going to cover today will complement what you heard yesterday. My session is quite short. We're going to be covering the knowledge organization and sharing, meaning the principles that we follow in managing knowledge within an initiative. So when we discuss knowledge, whether it is knowledge generation, organization, or sharing, it's really at the core of everything we do at the initiative. Everything we do is about knowledge, and one way of defining knowledge, the way we use it in initiative, is that it's about humans, how they parse information, how they gain knowledge through conceptual learning and through practical experience. So you'll find out the way we deal with knowledge is that knowledge is at the core of everything we do. So for us in the initiative, we try to organize knowledge for specific purposes. These purposes are to improve individual competence and organizational performance. This is very important to remember as we present all the different structures of knowledge. And so when we say individuals, these individuals could be students, they could be policymakers, and when we say organizations, there could be any kind of organization. And when we're discussing knowledge from BIM initiative perspective, it is all connected. There is a specific models and frameworks and taxonomies and all these fancy words that connect this knowledge together in order to bring you a small number of connected projects, which I briefly explained yesterday. So we have Project A, the dictionary, then Project B is the knowledge sharing, etc. And my presentation now is about this Project B. So when we say Project B about knowledge sharing, it includes multiple micro projects. The first one is about project administration. The second one is about knowledge organization. I'm going to be focusing on this. The third micro projects about websites and web tools. So meaning when all the things we do get organized and shared to a number of websites. We have more than 4 websites that we use. Number 4 is community forums, and we now have a community, like a bustling community with lots of people, and we're going to make it open very soon in the next couple of weeks. We also use lots of social media, whether it is we have a LinkedIn page, we've got Facebook page, we've got an Instagram, focusing on dictionary, and we use all social media that will reach our target audience, which is the practitioners within the built industry. Project B6 or Micro Project B6 about seminars, and you are watching us today as part of that project. Then we plan of delivering and developing, and we continuously deliver and develop rich media, videos and images, etc. Interactive media coming also soon. And part of this project B about knowledge organization is translation and localizations. And you'll see many of the resources that we share through our websites are already being translated and localized as well. And finally, we also do lots of publications, whether it is currently lots of resources, I'll explain shortly, and peer-reviewed publications coming soon. Now, when we're discussing knowledge structuring, we focus on knowledge structuring is all about, there's so much information in our built environment space dealing with digital transformation. The job of the BIMe initiative is to take so much of this unstructured information, there's so much information out there, to use our methodology, our approach, our frameworks to structure it and make it available to people to understand a little bit more easily in a more visual way. You also see that we use lots of tools in order to explain complex connections between different concepts. And over time, we'll release more of these more openly, so you can integrate with this rich information environment, and you can see for your own how concepts are connected. When we organize our knowledge, because we have so much really knowledge within the BIM initiative after 3 years of work, and as we go, it's multiplying rather quickly. When we're releasing resources, we have very specific resource numbering, and if you've ever used our resources, you will find that each will have a specific resource numbering set and number. We're slowly adding citation help, meaning for students to know how to cite a specific page or a specific resource. We also are adding digital object identifier, meaning to make each resource have its own unique ID, so people can reach even with the new versions available. And of course, we follow quality management protocols and quality assurance. We version and we archive everything. And we are now sharing, everything we release as a resource through an open public library called Zenodo, which this library provides us with our DOII, or the Digital Object Identifier. Everything we do is based also on a published conceptual ontology. And if you have time later on, go on the website and check and search for one of our resources under the number 291 and conceptual ontology, and you will see how we use that in connecting our different models and taxonomies which we need in our projects. Soon, this effort has started, but we're going to be formally doing some semantic restructuring of many of the things we do to enable not to move from conceptual modeling to data modeling, and to make everything available through an open source through a tool. Now, when we're organizing knowledge, we use lots and lots of these lists and taxonomies. One of these lists is called the topic list, and this is a BIMe initiative-wide list, and it includes 42 main topics and many, many subtopics. You can go online and check it for yourself and search. We also, everything we do is well organized on the lists and databases, and we're making these available increasingly online, so people can search for a specific volunteer, what they're working on, look at the project list, and because we have 6 projects, but we have tens of micro projects, we can search and see its status. When we're discussing knowledge sharing, how we share knowledge, we share it through open forums, whether it is on social media or our own forum when you go to forums.bimexcellence.org. We do videocasts like this one. We also, we have a series of podcasts planned for August and September, so you will hear about this as well from us. We use social media as mentioned. So any way that we can connect with the people who need the materials we're generating, and we can help people to move along the digital transformation road, we will be using that. So as we go, we're evolving, we're learning what social media to use with which type of population. We do community meetups, and we also invite guests. So really, we knowledge share our first with our internal community in order to improve the quality of the knowledge we are generating, and then we release that publicly. We do public seminars. We have printed publications, and and we have a community newsletter coming soon. And when we're discussing knowledge sharing, and we really try as much as we can to localize, to translate the resources that we generate, all this knowledge, intensive knowledge content that we have into different languages, and to as much as we can to localize into specific regions as well as we go forward. So you will find, as many of our resources have been translated, but of course, we are just starting this effort, and everything you see in our projects will eventually be translated into your local language. That's it for me about the knowledge organization and sharing. And just as a summary, I would say that everything we do in the initiative is about knowledge generation and sharing. In order to make this knowledge available to everyone, we use multiple ways, multiple media and mediums in order to reach different people. We will try whatever is needed in order to help practitioners to improve their performance, and to help organizations to speed their digital transformation. And everything we do is built around a very specific knowledge structure as discussed yesterday. Thank you for attending this session, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Bilal, for presenting the plans and for sharing and organizing your BIMe community knowledge. Thank you, especially for great effort and positive energy you bring to competitive industry. I'm always amazed how speaking with you or listening to your lectures leaves me with optimism. So thank you once again. So after Bilal, now we're starting with the interview. We have an important partner that supports the development of our knowledge structure and projects. I call the BIMe initiative colleague, Ms. Aragavan Akbaria, a member of the BIM Dictionary Project, as a Persian language co-editor, to interview the contributor, Mr. Simon Brodeur from Group BIM du Québec. Welcome. We're waiting for them to join in. Before they start, maybe we are a bit early. Yesterday, okay. Oh, here they are. Oh. While they are preparing, Bilal, yesterday I noticed one question by Carlos Antonio Aguilar Barahana. Do you consider that different realities in each country as an issue or as a point of enrichment to have a more diverse community? What would you say?
It's definitely a point of enrichment, meaning we all have different experiences, but we shouldn't take these experiences to be too unique. I mean, of course, they are unique to our own local language, our own geographic challenges, etc. But as discussed yesterday, most of the issues we face and the challenges that we are all confronting are common. And if we deal with the common challenges first, and then we try to localize, we will be able to achieve more together. Now, of course, any situation, any type of project, any country will have their own challenges, and that will bring richness and improve the depth of the things we deliver, so they become more applicable.
Okay, great. I just got the information that Simon is not available at the moment, so we will go to our second presentation, to your second presentation. So now you will present as the Competency Learning Project. So welcome again.
No, that's good. Actually, I was one of the things I wanted to suggest before to the great team organizing this is maybe we should combine these two presentations together. So I'm really happy that this is what's happening. They're cross dependent. So now we move to Project C. So after covering Project B about knowledge sharing and organization, we move to Project C, which is not really launched yet, but this is just a chance to introduce everyone to this project, this very important project which deals with competence and learning. So again, you see this familiar wheel now. We have this connected knowledge, which has very different things inside it. You find there is something called blocks and tools and foundations and etc. One thing I want you to remember is that when you look at foundations, and later when you have you'll share with you this this presentation, other materials, it includes lots of frameworks and theories, and then we simplify them into something called blocks. And these blocks we use into tools, and the tools we use them into workflows. And these workflows, you will see them through views. Very complex, but there is a document, actually a resource with a number that you could look at later on the BIM Excellence website that will explain this wheel to you. Now, at the heart of this wheel, we have something called blocks, which I will show in a second. Now, Project C is about competency and learning. Competency and learning is what is really very important to the initiative. So if we look at the BIM initiative, like from a bird's eye view, it is really an interconnected knowledge base. Everything we do is about knowledge, and everything is interconnected, and all of it is intended for digital transformation to improve the performance of individuals and organizations. Now, the knowledge base, meaning there's many uses for that knowledge base, but the primary use is to educate, to train, to help people to self-learn. That's the primary use of it. So everything you see, all the resources, all the videos, all the presentations, all the discussions, today, tomorrow, I don't know until when, it's all about learning. And when we say learning, all of us are learners, and all of us are learning providers. So we learn, we practice, we become educators. So the BIM initiative is trying to foster this learning by providing the materials, by providing some of the methodology as well. As examples of these resources, you've seen them probably online. We have something called the competency table. It's our version, I don't know, 2 or something, and you have see the resource number. You can see the model uses table, and these are resources for people to use at their companies, and also to use them for learning and for developing educational materials. So if we look at what's really stopping our industry moving forward, we say, okay, adoption of digital technologies, adoption of processes, adoption of protocols. It's all about individuals' competence in the digital space. So if we look at our problems and we try to solve them, we really need to focus as our primary target to help people is to improve the digital competence. Because once we help them to improve the digital competence, that will be the catalyst for digital transformation. Based on this, it's a very important thing. We are developing a competency-based language. If we have time today, I'll explain what that really means, but it is a language that we can use in developing materials for learning, for performance improvement. This language, is very semantically consistent. It is structured in a way that it can be reused. It is modular, it's connected, and most importantly, it is open. Give you an example of this modular language. Today you will hear about the dictionary, and every item in the dictionary is called a dictionary item, of course. And in the competency inventory, we have something called competency item. And you will hear tomorrow about model use templates and model uses. This is another kind of item. Now, all these things are done in a structured way, in a structured language, so they interconnect. So, for example, a model use will have a dictionary item. A model use will have multiple activities, as you will learn tomorrow. Everything is interconnected, and we can use them to define roles for training, for learning, and to generate learning units, whether it's just a single lesson, a video lesson, or a complete course. Now, this project hasn't started yet, hasn't launched yet. We have this one is going to be one of our key projects. All projects are important, but because we are focusing on education, we will be calling for an education symposium around this modular competency-based language in the near future. We are preparing for it, but we will have a much longer discussion with everyone about the approach we're proposing in order to improve the digital competence of our practitioners, of our researchers, and to help learners in order for us to all move together faster towards a digital by default. Thank you again for attending my second session, and I hope you see the connections between knowledge generation and competency building.
Thank you, Bilal, once again. I speak for myself, but I believe it is a great honor for all the members of the initiative to be the part of it and give contribution to the initiative project, and especially knowledge sharing. That's something that we are here to do. Now, since Simon is not with us, I will open for interaction with the public, and I will moderate the session of questions regarding the knowledge sharing, performance improvements, and competency and learning projects. So please give us your questions, comments, and while we, as I see, a lot of viewers are following the session, while we filter the questions, I have one question for Bilal for you to start with. I believe it was in 2016 when I saw your public invitation on LinkedIn to join the BIM Dictionary community, and from then a lot of things changed. A lot of people joined. Yesterday we saw it is more than 130 volunteers now. How did you come up with an idea of such an ambitious project, and what would you say was a crucial moment for setting up BIMe initiative?
Well, thank you, Damir. Really excellent question. All of us, who are passionate about digital transformation in our industry are trying to do something. Okay, on your own, you could do a lot of good. You can create lots of great materials, but on your own, you cannot change the industry. Only through a community of researchers, as defined yesterday, working together, there will be a multiplier effect. And you're starting to see this in the initiative. You know how when two people are working together, you get the production of 2.5. When you have 3 people working together, you have the production of 5 people. You see all these people supporting each other. Now we're starting also to specialize. So the idea of the community is about bringing together people who are all passionate about digital transformation. They're passionate about helping others and providing the platform, the knowledge for all of them to interact together and to help our industry. So without a community, nothing of what you see today can be done. Only through the efforts, the collective efforts of everyone working in a specific knowledge structure, we will be able to do some change or impart some change.
Great. And what is your plan? How do you tend to keep such large community based on volunteering sustainable?
Yep, it's passion. Yeah,
passion,
it's good. Yeah, I mean, unless you have passion, you wouldn't do this. Many of the volunteers spend 4 hours, 6 hours, and more, every week from their own time. Okay, in order to contribute, to improve, materials, in order to share knowledge. Now, so passion is the one. Second is that we don't have a strict structure. We don't have strict like roles. We don't have communities and sub communities and sub communities and chapters and hierarchies. It is all driven by a knowledge structure about expertise, what people would like to work on. So by giving volunteers who are passionate about helping others a chance to express that passion, they work so well. It's amazing how much is generated by sheer passion and volunteering spirit.
Yeah, uh, totally agree with you. Um, we have, I have to thank to all the people following from all the world. We read your greetings. Thank you for your nice messages. Um, Also, we have one question. Paula asked, when will this model be launched? Probably she's thinking about the module for competency learning.
Yeah, so we need to do first our homework, meaning every project that we launch is preceded by lots and lots and lots of efforts. Okay, and all projects would have some research done before it. When it comes to competency-based learning, the research have been done on the past. Now it needs to be reinvigorated by all the talent that we have. So we're hoping that in the next 6 to 9 months, we will have a strategy to put forward that this is how we're going to approach competency-based learning. This is how we're going to, tackle, these challenges, how we're going to connect learning between in the industry and academia, what kind of inventory, what's the semantic structure, all the things. We're going to do these things very carefully because as mentioned, learning and education is the key, is the catalyst for change. So we're going to be a little bit more careful than we normally are in making sure that when we propose a solution for competency-based learning, that it will work. We will want to test it, of course. So hopefully within the 6 to 9 months, we will start releasing information about whether there is going to be an overall framework. It will definitely include model uses and model use templates. It will definitely include all the materials you see in the dictionary. And we have lots and lots of materials, as you will learn from today's session later on.
Great. So stay with us. From Eduardo Toledo Santos, one question: will BIMe develop a BIM educational framework or something that relates BIM uses and knowledge topics or competencies?
Absolutely, and because this is because of the modular language. So when we say a model use or model use template, the model use template includes lots of activities. These activities are also competency items for people to learn. These competency items include dictionary items within them, which are in the dictionary. So everything is interconnected, and this is the beauty of delivering learning materials which are interconnected. And this is what the BIM initiative is, strong at, connecting all these different strands together to deliver a learning learning materials for everyone to use.
Yeah, the structuring the knowledge is always the hard part. Yeah, that is something
Absolutely.
that if it is done in the beginning the good way, then it will be a success. So one more question from Regina. Could you explain why to use competencies versus roles?
Why competency versus roles?
Yeah.
Well, roles are a container, okay? And as it's called in ISO, they call them functions as well. So they are containers. So really, the way things are moving in our world, not necessarily as fast in our construction industry, is that we need to focus on what people are able to do, what they need to deliver, rather than the title they hold, okay? We need to focus on whether they can do something, then hopefully help them to do it by teaching them what they need, then helping them to demonstrate it, and then maybe do some quality assurance and assure their competence. So really, when we're discussing competence, it's about, if you want to think about it, it's like if you want to break down any role into its components, it will be a list of competencies that people can learn. So roles are just containers. So it's better for us as a community to focus on the individual items and try to develop learning materials for these items. And then whatever your role, you can select the competency items that suit you learn them, get micro credit for them, and then demonstrate them, and then people will recognize you for them, rather than saying you're a BIM manager, or you're a coordinator, or even you're an architect or a project manager. These titles are, to be honest with you, are legacy roles, and you'll see as we discuss this in the learning framework and educational framework, how we're not gonna not be focusing on these defined roles. We're gonna be focusing on their components.
And here Eduardo has one more question regarding that's good continues to this answer. Is professional certification on BIMe rather?
We don't
think about,
at the moment, I don't think certification is something for the initiative to do. We want to focus on delivering materials for people to learn efficiently, to demonstrate. We are, of course, investigating if micro credentials, not certification, like micro credentials related to specific competency items, is useful. And that's a very big difference between a certificate, okay, which has like a title and a date and whatever, and while we focus on specific competence that we want to focus on and teach, and for people to excel in, and to give them credit for that specific item, rather than saying this is your certificate, your congratulations, you're a project manager. No, this is not something we want to do. We want to do something a bit different that suits our digital transformation aims.
Oh, great. One more question. What parts of BIM are you trying to cover with knowledge engineering?
Everything is up for grabs, to be honest. I mean, anything we could put our hands on and we think it's needed for digital transformation, it's a fair game to try to re-engineer it. Okay, there is nothing stopping us except the expertise of the people who we are working with. So let's say there's a topic that we need to focus on. Let's say I don't know, blockchain in construction, or tokenization of assets. We will tackle it once we have the expertise. Okay, if we don't have the expertise internally within the community, we will call for them. We will invite them. We will please say, come and join us, and we will develop the terms, and we develop the competency items, we will develop the microcredits, we will develop the processes and re-engineer these processes in order to help the industry move forward.
One question from Wayne Eastley. Will BIM Excellence develop bi-directional construction facility management information exchange that will allow machine, human, and machine data interoperability across the Internet of Things, BIM, GIS, Smart City Spectrum?
Thank you, Wayne, for your participation today and yesterday. We as an initiative, if we can picture a hierarchy of things that we deal with, and this is just an abstraction. We have information management, which you'll hear about tomorrow through the LIGHT framework, about managing information flow. These information flows are connected to data streams, okay? Typically the domain of what Building Smart does. We are focusing on connecting the knowledge of humans to information flows. We are not intending at the moment, and not in the foreseeable future, to look at data streams and connection between systems. We are looking at the connection between the human to human and the human to machine. When it comes to the discussion between machine and machine, really between an IoT system and centralized or a blockchain, data approach, this is not something we're going to be focusing on.
Okay. I have one question from yesterday. Maybe it's good to ask it here. With your experience in macro adoption, would you say there should be a different approach on BIM implementation to developing countries? And would you make the difference between small and large countries?
Yes, and this is something that yesterday the team from the macro adoption have discussed. The idea is again, whether it's developing or developed, there are still many overlapping challenges. Okay. Now, of course, certain challenges regarding to technology infrastructure, for example, in developing countries, this needs to be taken into consideration. But the components are the same. So if you're a policymaker in a developing country, you still have to address all the 8 challenges that we discussed, yesterday. How you address them would be different. Okay, so rather than being in a developed country where you throw money at it, some people would do it a bit in a smarter way. So of course, the challenges of macro adoption in developing countries is much greater. Okay, but opportunities for change, for opportunities for increasing productivity is much bigger as well.
Okay. Thank you. I believe we are done with the questions and answers session for the moment. Let's. Okay. Thank you, Bilal, for your contribution.
Thank you, Damir.
Now we go to the second part of the seminar, discussing the BIM Dictionary Project. Now Marcia Bolpani and Eduardo Tavares will present the BIM Dictionary Project. Marcia is from UK, origins from Italy. She's senior BIM advisor at Mace, currently active in BIM Dictionary Project as an assistant editor and reviewer of Italian language. And Eduardo is architect, BIM manager and designer at 4D from Brazil, with primary role as topics coordinator for BIM Dictionary Project. Thank you, Marcia and Eduardo, for your presence. The stage is yours now.
Thank you. So welcome everyone. So buon pomeriggio for the Italians that are listening to us. So the BIM Dictionary is project E. So it's the first project of the BIM Excellence initiatives. So as you hear yesterday, there are several projects, and the BIM Dictionary is really the foundation. So what is the BIM Dictionary? So I would like to ask people that are listening to us if they can write in the chat if they're familiar with the BIM Dictionary. Have you ever tried and used the BIM Dictionary? So I'm really curious to know that. So feel free to write in the comment if you're familiar with this project. So as you can see here, the BIM Dictionary is also actually the only project that has its own logo. So thank you for Bilal for creating this innovative logo as well. So we will see what is the BIM Dictionary. So the BIM Dictionary is an international community effort. So this is really important. It's not just a few people that are part of this. We will see later on. It's really a rich community that is contributing to this. A community, as we saw yesterday, of researchers. The term researcher is a wider one. So there are volunteers that really want to share their knowledge. It is also a research-based and reliable source of information. So it is based on the terms on sources that are peer-reviewed, and then it's something that you can rely and that you can use in your day-to-day work, but mainly also to learn. So it's an educational tool. And it uses simple language, and it is there for you to understand and to be able to work in digital transformation related to the built environment. So this is really important because I think that all of you that are maybe new to this, or even if you are expert, you know that there are different acronyms, terms that are not so easy to understand regarding BIM. Sometimes a new language that you need to learn. Also, there are a lot of acronyms, and these generate confusion. So with the BIM Dictionary, we want to create a simple language to enable people to understand and to empower them to work in digital transformation for our industry. It includes hundreds terms. So in the previous slide that you can see that there are hundreds of terms that are related one to each other. And also, if you can go in the previous slide, the one still with the icons. Yeah, perfect. So there are hundreds of terms interconnecting one to each other. And so you can see that when you start using, you can refer back to other terms in the dictionary. Also, it is live, so it is continuously review and improve. So you can always find the latest version of the terms, and we will see later that also you can contribute also to review and to improve based on your knowledge and your experience. And finally, it is open access platform and is free to use. So everyone, each of you that is listening to us today can use. So if you didn't answer in the in the comments that you don't already know that, please start to use, because it is available for everyone. So how many terms there are so far? So far there are 71 terms, and the BIM dictionary is really growing. So you can search, learn, and share in many languages. So these terms are related to different topics, and you can find also in the website the different topics that is related each of the different terms. And this has been translated in 24 languages so far. So you can see that there is a term and a definition, and Eduardo later will explain how this is also moving forward. So there are 24 languages. I advise you to go to the page and to see also if this is already your language, so you can use it in your local market. And if not, and if you're interested to be part of this, we will explain you how to get in contact with us and to help. So really there are already 24 languages, so it's really a great achievement. So how the team is structured. So the project so is a team. So there are the development team that is taking care of the platform, and also I would like to thank the sponsor that helped to make this possible, because we want also to have a digital tool to manage the BIM dictionary. So this is thanks also to the sponsor that helped to develop the platform, beside the knowledge and the effort all the volunteers. So we have also an editorial team where there is the head of editor and then assistant editors, and then we have community teams. So the community coordinators, the topic coordinator, and the outreach coordinator. And you will meet later on people that are covering those roles, so you can learn from their experience. And the head editor, the assistant editor, and the community coordinator help really to support the language teams. So in the language teams, there is one editor, the main editor, and then he or she is supported by different co-editors. And also there is an external reviewer, at least one, that is checking the quality of the translation. So also later on in the panel, you will meet different volunteers that are covering those roles. So you can also learn from their experience in being part of the BIM Dictionary team. And finally, we have as part of the topic coordinator. So Eduardo will explain this later on. We have also topic curators and specialists, and we have different topic curators. And also tomorrow, when we will speak about growing community, also we will invite more people to join, and we will explain better where we need further help. So regarding the editorial and the community teams, so Bilal is a head of editor, so he created this project, and myself and assistant editor are supporting him regarding the editorial team. We have also our volunteers and community coordinators, so Lorena, Eduardo, and Oriola, and you will listen from them later on. And I would like to underline that Oriola recently joined the team after a selection. So we receive, when we usually need more help, we put online a form that you can subscribe, and usually we do interviews to select then people that can contribute in different roles. So this is the team. But of course, there are not just these 5 people. Really, there are a lot of volunteers. So you can see that we have more than 115 volunteers that are working in the BIM dictionary. And yesterday you saw all the community is 130, and a great number of volunteers are actively working on the BIM dictionary. So is really great to see that they are from all over the world. You can see in the map where they are from. And if in this moment you can see that part of the map is not represented from where you are, you can think about to join us. Or instead, if you can see that your country is already represented, feel free to get in touch with the volunteers that are already working. And also, most of us in this moment, we say, oh, I would like to join, I would like to be part of it. How can I do? So if you want to be part of this, you need to sign the Excellence Manifesto first and agree with the principle of the BIM Excellence initiative. And you can contact us for different reasons. So if you see something that you would like to improve, or if you would like to be part of this. So you can join the BIM Dictionary at the website, that is bimdictionary.com, and then there is one section for the content, and so you can fill, and then you can reach us with your questions. And something about the BIM Dictionary platform. So as I say, you type bimdictionary.com, and what we suggest you is to create a profile and to log in, because if you log in, you have more possibility and more feature to use the BIM Dictionary in comparison with the normal user. So you can search and filter for terms. You can assess a term translated in different languages. You can star the terms that you prefer, based on your studies, or maybe you would like to include in your website. So you can set a preferred set of terms. You can also add notes to terms, especially, if you would like to add something and take notes. So this is possible. And also you can copy the link to a term. So each term has a web page. So then you can refer to a link and include in your documentation, in your website, and so on. And coming back to the website, you can create an embedded code. So you can really use the terms and then include it in your website, for example. So there are a lot of great functionality, and I value all of you to test. So the material that is available, especially if you want to join, if you want to candidate yourself as an editor and create a team, I really suggest you first to read the BIM Dictionary Guide. So you can find the BIM Initiative website. So there are under resources, that is 800 series, and you can read and also download this document that explains in detail different roles, how to join the team, and you can find all the information that you will need before proposing yourself as a candidate for this project. So I will leave now Eduardo to explain you about the future of the BIM Dictionary.
Thank you, Marcia. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Bom dia a todos os brasileiros que estão nos acompanhando aí. So I'll be talking about the extended description strategy now. So what is an extended description? It is the additional explanatory information, such as examples, applications, activity flows, and reference materials to be displayed on a term's unique page in the BIM dictionary. So the extended description itself provides deeper insights into a specific term, its underlying concepts and connections. So here on the right, you can see an example from the COBE term that was offered by Dr. Bill East from the COBE Academy. Then, why they are needed? The extended descriptions are a small part of a bigger strategy, which is to transform the BIM dictionary into a knowledge base. It potentially transforms the terms into an encyclopedic content where each term becomes an actual knowledge block. Then, do we have a strategy for that? Yes. This document introduces the processes and protocols to deliver this important micro project inside the BIM dictionary. The extended description strategy development was focused on elaborating on the workflow from the very beginning, which is the selection of a topic from the BIMe taxonomy, up to the very end, which is the final publishing of an extended description in the dictionary page, where public access will be made available to all of us. We also made sure some protocols were established to guarantee a good quality standard throughout the whole process, such as a protocol for specialist selection, communication protocol, quality protocol, and modifications protocol. And finally, the tools needed to communicate, share, and create everything that is needed to achieve the goals of this project. So whether if you're willing to get to know us better, or even if you would like to join our force, please, I encourage you to contact us through this link here on the slide. Thank you, and I hope I meet you soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Marcia and Eduardo. As usual, your presentation brought new insights from ongoing research on the BIM Dictionary Project. I'll see you both later in the questions and answer session. Next on the schedule is BIM Dictionary Panel. In this panel, we invite some volunteers of the BIM Dictionary teams to explain each role and share their experience on this project. At first, Ms. Stepanka Tomanova will represent the role of editor. Stepanka is language and country editor for Czechia. She is chair of Mirror Committee at TNK 152 of CEN TC 442 and ISO in Czech Standardization Agency and product manager of Czech version of Open BIM tool for MEP design DDS CAD. Welcome, Stepanka. Nice to have you here.
Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. And my task today is to introduce a little bit the editor role in BIM Dictionary. I should say that we work with BIM Dictionary for 3 years now. And then we decided to organize our team in 2 stages, which I will talk a little bit later. And first, I want to summarize the language editor role. This is mainly to organize, manage, and motivate the editorial team, because our main goal is to make a localized version of the BIM dictionary. The language editor should ensure translated items are consistent, they are high quality, and of course, we have some BIM dictionary syntax we should follow. We as well should follow international standards, which are related to glossaries and thesaurus in any language. Next, please. And we have a special dashboard for that we can revise if all items are translated, and we can check if items are updated. Of course, language editor should take care about the BIM dictionary users as well. It means answer queries and solve some comments. and he is as well responsible for promoting BIM Dictionary. Next, please. Then there are other kind of the editor which can be in the team. I should say that we connected these two roles to one. It means the language editor is as well the country editor, because we are a small language in a small country. But the country editor should focus to checking whether the translated items within the BIM dictionary corresponds with the local standards, and he or she should add country comments which can cover links to national standards or any protocols. We already saw some examples, and be focused to clarifying terms and description to the local users. Of course, the country editor should cooperate with other BIMe projects. For example, macro adoption studies, I would say, is the first. As I said before, we organized our team in 2 stages, because for the first time we started with the quite large amount of items we should translate. So we decided to organize around the university, because we had a wider group, and we were able to introduce BIM Dictionary as well as a source to the university for studies and even for our administration. And now we are focusing on the second stage, because we want to add more nationals, and we want to focus more on the language level. Because when we translated BIM Dictionary, we found that some our terms are not consistent, and now we want to have this in the better level. This is the last picture here is the example how we use the BIM Dictionary in other web pages, which are focused for the terminology of all harmonized standards, and we use the same content as is in BIM Dictionary. So this is from my side all things, and I hope some other members will introduce the rest of the roles. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stepanka. The editor's works is reinforced by the co-editors, and Argavan Akbarye will tell us about this role. Argavan is language responsibility. Her responsibility is co-editor and organization of the team. So please, Argavan, the word is yours.
Thank you so much, Tamir. Hello, everybody. I am the language co-editor for the Persian language team. Our team is consisted of 4 people. It's me as the co-editor, as well as Mr. Muslim Sheikho Shekar from BIM Solutions in Iran. We are both co-editors, and our editor is Mr. Saleh Sayedzadeh from the University of Satyed. And we have about 700 words that we are trying to work on them to provide good quality Persian translations for them. Mr. Farzad Purahimian is our external reviewer, and he's in the University of Cleveland. So my responsibilities as co-editor is to check and edit the items that we already have. These items are in all the other languages, and we try to provide good quality and accurate translation in a way that everybody can easily access them. The aim is to also have international standards. The words that are international standards translated into Persian, but also the role of co-editor is to have these international words in every language. I personally joined the co-editor as a co-editor to this team because I believe in open science, and I believe that language should not be a barrier for scientists or for any people who are interested in BIM. And through this initiative, we can include a lot of people, and we can promote BIM, and we can promote open research. Damir, the floor is yours.
Okay, okay. Thank you, everyone, for presenting the role of co-editor and knowledge sharing efforts. The work developed by the editor and co-editors is validated by the reviewer. Now, Dr. Georgios Kapugiannis will share his experience on it. Currently speaking from China, Georgios is a language reviewer for Greek language. He is also director of the Master of Science in Geospatial Engineering with BIM and assistant professor in BIM at the University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. Welcome, George. The stage is yours. Currently speaking from China, Georgios is a language reviewer for Greek language. He is also director of the Master of Science in Geospatial Engineering.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. Actually, it's a really nice experience being with a great team of the last couple of years. The role of the reviewer actually is a quite demanding role, to be honest. It's really difficult because you have to evaluate and to validate the language. And actually, the Greek language, I wouldn't say that it's easy at all. It's not like English, for example. I'm not sure about other languages, but definitely Chinese is a different story. However, one of the biggest challenges I face as a reviewer is whether I'm using the right word was used actually to match the actual BIM word. Many times we've noticed actually after the need actually to have a chat with the editor. And so actually our editor is coming from the city of Thessaloniki, and she's really, really good, and her background is in architecture and in the discipline that helps a lot. Now, on this basis, the review process actually is really challenging, and in terms of the time you need to commit, the time you need to conversate, many hours spent actually with Nicoleta Panayotidou to ensure that we put down, the right word to represent the actual value and entity of each word. Sometimes the culture brings a lot of input to the right translation. And of course, we're always seeking for support from third parties. That's why we're going to the local universities in Athens. I did a presentation in 2017 at National University, Technical University of Athens, and actually was really hacked by the students. And this is where we have to start with introducing the BIM dictionary, and because this group of people will be the first that they're gonna write, and so I'm gonna use it, and this of course matches out to the industrial world. On this basis, the benefits, of course, beyond the fact that you're open to the public, for me is more important that I can really go through to filter what is in there, and the power of update it on a regular basis through the dynamic portal. Bilal, thank you. It's a good opportunity to thank you for the opportunity and thank you for bringing this initiative forward and make it available worldwide. And I'm sure more languages gonna come, and I bet the review process is not easy, but you need only one thing, the BIM paradigm and collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. I agree with you completely. The choice of words while translating can be a tough choice. As Eduardo told us before, we have some experts that develop the terms of specific areas. They are the topic curators. For this role, I will invite Dimitri Daniel to share his experience with the public. Dimitri is building and civil engineer at SME French Confederation. And in BIM Dictionary, his role is ISO Standards Topic Curator. Speaking from France, welcome, Dimitri.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour à tous. It's really a pleasure to be here today. So, what are your responsibilities as the topic curator? I would say topic curators play a key role in this project. Responsibilities are to identifying the terms pertaining to the respective topics for inclusion in the BIM dictionary, identifying the specialists who can contribute an extended description, inviting specialists to contribute in accordance with set communication protocols, review contributions, and assist in harmonizing content according to publication protocols, recommend the extended descriptions for publication review or removal, periodically review and keep current the terms, the summary and extended descriptions, promote their own efforts, the BIM Dictionary and the BIM initiative. Especially as ISO topic curator, the responsibilities are to manage BIM dictionary terms and definition regarding ISO term and definition, while taking in consideration their both contexts respectively. If needed, make norms and especially their concepts more accessible for practitioners, for instance, the ISO 19650. All this work could be considered as a simplification work. This task is really challenging due to, on the one hand, the high-level concepts of ISO, and in the other hand, due to the particularity of BIM initiative, which is also international and follow its own community, but at the same time, which could follow national usages. For instance, you can find exchange information requirements in ISO 19650. You can find employer information requirements in BIM Dictionary, and in France, you can find Cahier des Charges BIM. The main purpose is to be relevant for a majority of practitioners, not only experts, which implies to have common simplification approach for all ISO concept curations. And it's also important to get feedbacks from the community through BIM Initiative Forum. More generally, this is about deciding what is relevant for BIM Dictionary regarding topics. So topics we are covering now, basically a large part of topic covered by BIMe initiative are covered by ISO committees, but at a different level and especially with a different approach. Nevertheless, some topics may not be covered by ISO, for instance, contractual processes, national or EU regulations, to detailed specification or recommendation. Currently, the ISO topic we are managing with Kerem and Bilal is the ISO 19650 terms and definition. So how ISO terms will be aligned with BIM dictionary terms? Starting from ISO 19650 series, an appraisal has been made taking into account current BIM dictionary term and definition and current ISO 19650 term and definition to deliver different possibilities of alignment. The process of alignment is actually being done with weekly regular meetings to be delivered pretty soon. So thank you for this. Damir?
Support and expand this work. For this, Lorena Wedi and Oriola Braholi will explain the role of community coordinator. Lorena is master in civil engineer, working on Vedasit technological solutions in Brazil. And Oriola is an architect, postgraduate student in BIMe Plus in Milan Polytechnic University. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, so hi, everyone. I'm Miss Lorena Lued, and I have 1 year and a half as a community coordinator on BIM Dictionary. My main responsibility is to coordinate the activities of volunteers and take lead in organizing community events, as this one, the Excellence Seminar, that I'm the project lead, and also the internal community meetings. My main activities at this role is contacting the teams to check their progress, define milestones, and also give all the support for them to work on the translations, okay? Additionally, I'm responsible for organizing our data, and I develop also the standard communication to all members. Also, I have a meeting twice a month with the assistant editor, Marza Bopgani. Being a community coordinator actually exceeded a lot of my expectations, and I got a lot of benefits and improvements in my personal and career life. The main benefits I can say of this role for me was the connection with being experts from the whole world, the improvement of my formal English level, and also an experience in working in a community with so many different cultures. So I'll let Ori now, Aureola, say about her role.
I am Oriola Braholi, and I'm one of the newest members of the BIMe community. I joined 3 months ago as an outreach coordinator. Immediately, I was very welcomed in the BIMe Dictionary team, and I was also immediately involved in the work and the activities. My main responsibility this time has been to help on preparing presentations about the BIM dictionary and customize them to reach different focus groups. They can be used to update the internal community or by the editors to present the dictionary to universities, educational institutions, BIM professionals, and other interested parties. Part of this work is also collecting and organizing information available. I attend the meetings with the team every 2 weeks, and also with Marcia, the assistant editor, who has helped and guided me during this whole time. Being a part of this international and very diverse community has also been very interesting and beneficial for me. It contributed to the extension of my BIM knowledge base as I'm new to the field. And it has connected me with a lot of professionals and BIM experts worldwide and helped in developing my organizational skills and remote working. And also we have a topic coordinator, that is Eduardo Tavares, and he is developing the process of extending description now and will coordinate the work of the topic curators and specialists. And I will pass the word
Okay.
to Damir now.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you, Oriola. Now, let me have a moment of coordination. Will we have Simon now, or will we have questions and answers? Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's see what the public wants to know about the BIM Dictionary Project. Therefore, I would like to invite Mr. Lot Kaduma to conduct this questions and answers session. Lot is Nigeria country representative at the BIM Africa initiative and part of the BIM Dictionary Project as country editor for Nigeria. I also asked Marcia, Eduardo, and Lorena to come back and join us in this session. Lot, the stage is yours. Okay, while we wait for Lot to come in. Okay.
Yeah. There are a lot of questions, so let's.
Yeah, it should start. Okay, hi, Lot, Lot join in.
Hi, Damir.
Hi, Lot. The stage is yours, so you can start.
Okay.
So,
hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Lot Kaduma. I'm speaking to you live from Abuja City, Nigeria. Good morning, good evening to everyone. And I'm an architect, and also I currently function as the BIM Dictionary country editor for Nigeria, and also the community coordinator for the African teams. So to everyone from Africa willing to join, you're welcome to join us. And also, I also function as the country representative in Nigeria for the BIM Africa initiative. And I'm glad to be the moderator for this Q&A session, and we welcome all your questions. Thank you, Damir. So, to start, we have some questions here from Eduardo Toledo Santos. It says, how can one suggest a new term to be included on the BIM dictionary team? So, Mazia, can you take that?
Yeah, sure. So everyone can suggest a new term. As I explained you before, you can contact us using the contact form online. So when you go to the page that is bimdictionary.com, then there is a contact section. So then you can fill those information with the terms that you would like to add or to review, and then the editorial team will review the term and we get in touch with you. So it's really welcome, for everyone to propose a new term or send a comment if something is not clear.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, we have another question from Regina Rochelle. And it goes, how does the group evaluate the consistency of the integrated semantics between the terms? Eduardo, can you take that question? Okay, Eduardo isn't live with us. Mazia, can you take that?
Yes, sure. So each term before to be included in the dictionary is checked against the other. So in our database, we have the list of all the terms. So the editorial team evaluate the different terms and check if there are not overlaps. And as you can see before, what Bilal explained before is really well structured. Our approach is divided in different knowledge block and so on. So there is really a lot of work that that has been done in the previous year in order to ensure this internal consistency. So, for example, if you use some different standards, is really common. I think that some of you maybe have experienced that there are the same terms with different definition, and in published, for example, in different standards, and this is creating confusion in the market. So what we want to avoid is this approach. So before each term is included, and we have this centralized database, it's possible to check and ensure this consistency.
All right, thank you, Mazia. Well, we have another question from Eduardo, again, Eduardo Toledo Santos. And it goes, how can one suggest a new term to be included on the BIM dictionary? Lorena, can you take that?
We can use the Contact Us page to use it. So in the BIM Dictionary page, you can go to Contact Us and you can write your suggestion. And when you send it, it's going to be for the editorial team, for Marzia and Bilal that you knew today. And they will analyze everything and we will start to translate it. At first, the term in English, and then we are going to send it to the other languages. Marzia, do you want to complement it with something?
Yeah, that is fine. I think that we already covered this. So again, is everyone is welcome to contribute on that.
Great.
All right. Thank you, Lorena. Thank you, Mazia. We still have some questions here, so I'll try and be as explicit as possible. We have a question from Wayne Eastley, and it goes: will BIMe pursue interoperability between the BIMe Data Dictionary and the Building Smart Data Dictionary, or the next generation BSDD, which is the Building Smart Data Dictionary intended to support inter-alia machine-readable contracts? Well, that's a big one. So who is willing to take that?
Yeah,
Mazia?
I will take that. Yes,
right.
I will take that. So as we know, there are different initiatives in the market, and the BIM Excellence Initiative really try to align with these different efforts. And for example, ISO and also Building Smart. Say that what is really key for us is to follow the principle of the BIM Excellence initiatives that really guide us in our work. So again, I suggest everyone to go and see the principle and to sign for the manifesto if you agree. So in case that there is, something is against those principles, we need to take another route. But there is always this willingness to align with these different initiatives and the different efforts. Regarding in particular with Build Smart, we continue to align with topics such as IFC, BCF, and IFD. But in particularly with the Data Dictionary, at the moment, we don't implement and integrate with them. So we see more our work as a complementary effort to this, and that can support the community to grow in line with our principle. So there, I want also to say that this should not be seen, as something in contrast. There are different volunteers that are part of the BIM Excellence Initiative that are also heavily involved with Build Smart. So we have people from Build Smart chapter, for example, in Canada and in other countries, Russia, and so on. So it's really welcome to everyone to join also if they are working actively in Build Smart in order to find alignment as much as possible.
Excellent. So we have quite some political questions here. So, and Eduardo Toledo Santos again. How can one comment or suggest an improvement on a specific term from BIM Dictionary? So, Lorena, I think it's yours.
Okay, the process to send any suggestion, improvement, or new term, it's always the same. So please go to the contact us and write the term and write your suggestion. Okay, so even if it's an improvement, even it's a new term, whatever, we always use this process. Okay. So, and we are really welcome to new suggestions, new improvement. We are really, it's in our aim, so we want it. So thank you.
Great. So we have a question. We have a question here, and we have a question here, and it's from Eduardo still. Is there a plan to add extended descriptions from LOT translations also, while translating, we have a challenge of choosing the right words as judges, or even to have the right word as judges, or even invent new ones in LOTE. So when you say judges, I mean, I guess that means from Georgia, right? So sometimes the choice needs to be explained in depth. Mazia, can you explain that?
Yeah, sure. So people, the volunteers that are working in the BIM dictionary know how challenging it is to translate, because language is so rich, and each language also has their own rules, and it's not easy to find the right terms. So we try as much as possible to follow to translate the term that is available in English, so to ensure consistency between all the 24 languages that we have so far. And but that can be the case where we need additional clarification. And so, as Stefanka mentioned before, their team did already a great work in order to add clarification to make sure that is possible to apply in their market. So there is the possibility to add further notes in a particular language, and in order to support and to clarify some possible doubts that can be to help people in specific market to use the dictionary. So the use of notes is, of course, is monitored by the editorial team. So we have discussion, and we need really to understand why this should be added. So there is really a collaboration and cooperation between the editorial team and the language team in order to assure that we deliver the best result for the community.
Excellent. So I have a specific question here, and it regards the team selection. Obviously, as a country editor for Nigeria, it's my responsibility to coordinate other co-editors. So to you, Mazia, how do you select participants of the BIM dictionary? Are there minimum requirements to set up a team? This is really important for the community to understand.
Yeah, so it's really a great question, so thank you. So in the BIM dictionary guide, so you can find more information regarding the different roles as I explained in my previous presentation. Usually what we ask is to have a strong team. We ask at least to have 3 members, and one of those should have a covering in academic role, so should have an academic position or background, so to ensure that rigor that is part of the BIM excellence initiative. And also we ask the team also to suggest an external reviewer, so that then can review the term. If not, we look for other reviewers in the community. We also suggest the gender diversity and balance. So we really ask people to promote the diversity, so we can really have a team that is inclusive. So these are mainly the criteria, and of course we ask for the CV in English, and we review those. Candidates should have a strong experience in the industry, that should sign for the excellence manifesto, so they should agree with the principle, and usually we have also interviews with them in order to make sure that we are selecting the right team.
Great, thank you. So we have a question from Paula Mota. She says, how are the Portuguese translations? Any updates coming soon? I think I might be particularly interested in this, because I'll be in Portugal. I'll be in Guimarães at the University of Minho. I'll be starting the BIMe Plus master in Europe, the BIMe Plus master in BIM Building Information Modeling. Definitely Portuguese translations will be very helpful to the students and the community there at the University of Minho and all over the world regarding the Portuguese language translation. So, do we have any updates, and how soon should we expect that?
Okay, about it, the Portuguese language team have already translated some, we say, sets, a lot of terms, and they are working on a new set of terms, and they will probably publish it soon. So I think in the second semester now, in a few months, we will have some updates on it. But we already have some translated terms, and we are going to have another set of terms now. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Lorena. So, wow, we have some good questions coming up. So we have one from Carlos Antonio Aguila Barahona. I hope I got that correctly. So, what are the biggest challenges that you have encountered building the BIM dictionary, considering the transparency issues in the different regions due to cultural context? Mazia, can you take that?
Yeah, so to be honest, I don't see issues considering the transparency of the different cultural contexts really. So our volunteer are expert in the field, so they know how to use the term, and we as say we follow a peer review approach, so that then we can ensure that it's not just one person or a small group that select the terms. It is really open for the community to comment. So how you ensure transparency. So if you know something that is not good, you as part of the community and also user of the BIM dictionary, you can send comments. So is a first check by reviewers, and then everyone has the possibility to provide comment and then to improve. So it was Bilal mentioned before. So the community is really the way to move forward if we want to be innovative and if we want to change and improve the built asset. So it's not really an issue; it's the way that we work.
Yeah, that's true, because over here, while we were reviewing over 700 terms here in Nigeria, we didn't have, that was no challenge regarding the suitability to our local market. Just slight differences, but not significant. So far so good. The BIM dictionary, it's a globally acceptable project, and we're very glad and happy to be part of the team, and we're confident that as more people from different countries join in, there'll be more translations and more country editors. We'll be confident that it will be market fit for all regions across the world. So thank you for that, Mazia. And thank you, Lorena. So far, I think we are about rounding up the quick Q&A session, and it's been great. There are so many questions. The other questions that are coming in bulk. We request that due to shortage of time, you're free to send us an email, and we'll definitely respond to your queries. So thank you again, Damir. Can you take over the session?
Yeah, thank you a lot. I have one more question for Marcia and Lorena. It is from Jose Luis Pimenta. He asks, what criteria shall be used by BIM Dictionary team to resolve specific inconsistencies?
Yeah, so I can take that. So if there is a inconsistency, so first of all, we go back to our principles. Okay, so as I say, that is really driving our approach. Then we follow, terms that are already published and have been peer reviewed. So if is one term that is, you know, which one has the you know, has been already accepted and reviewed by a community of experts. Okay, and after that, we also trying to look at references that are already published, well established, and also to use which terms are more popular and used. So there is really a process, and I suggest you also to go at the BIM dictionary page. So the section that is about, where we explain our approach in detail. So you can see how we, which is our approach in order to define the terms, the definition, and which one can take precedence in different contexts. So I suggested you to go back for, you know, for all the details regarding this matter.
Great, thanks a lot, Marcia. Okay, we can conclude the session for now. Thank you a lot for moderating. Also, thank you, Marcia and Lorena, for your answers and your contribution to BIM Excellence Initiative projects. Sadly, we lost Eduardo due to the connection problems, but we will have a chance to consult him in the future sessions. Now it's the supporters' word time. So starting with an interview, we have an important partner that supports the development of our knowledge structure and projects. I call the BIMe initiative colleague again, Ms. Arkavan Akbarye, a member of the BIM Dictionary Project, as she presented herself as a Persian language co-editor, to interview the contributor, Mr. Simon Brodeur, from group BIM du Québec. I hope I pronounced that well. So welcome. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you, Damir. It's a pleasure to be here. You pronounced it well. You did a good job on that name there.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Thank you. So thank you, Damir, again, and thank you, Mr. Bordeaux, for joining us. I'll introduce myself again for newcomers to this seminar. My name is Arkavan Akbarye. I'm part of the Persian language team for the BIM Dictionary. I am a civil and environmental engineer, and I am right now a PhD student in the University of Luxembourg. I work with Open BIM. So my main research interests are industrial foundation classes for energy and also for deconstruction phase of the buildings. And I'm very happy to be here to discuss with Mr. Simon Bordeaux. If you please first introduce yourself.
Of course, thank you, Ms. Akbarye. Well, my name is Simon Brodeur. I am the director of BIM Quebec. I have been named about a month ago. I have been a member of BIM Quebec for a little bit over 5 years. I've also been involved with CanBIM and Building Smart Canada. My main interest is to promote BIM across Canada and make it more coherent and more ready to use, basically, to all players in the industry.
Great, thank you for your introduction. So also, we would appreciate if you discuss more about your company, what you do in your company, if you have some products and services that you'd like to discuss it with your audience.
Yes, of course, I'll be happy to discuss these things. Well, as a group, we act as a community of practice in the community. We have been active for a little bit over 10 years now, and we regroup people from the architecture, the construction, and owner, and also legal industry. We basically host events 5 to 7 times a year, where we discuss different issues that we have with BIM in industry. Our mission really is to support and promote the digital transformation or shift of stakeholders who develop, deliver, operate, and maintain the local community built environment in a way that is both inclusive and participatory. That's our mission, really. Our main goals, as you can see here, are to encourage participation and commitment. We try to ensure clarity and consistency in the transition and towards digital means. And we want to democratize the digital shift in our province. We also want to promote local expertise and project delivery. These are partners. So we have partners from the industry that come from the construction field. We also have people from architecture. Other members come from consulting firms or professional associations such as the Employers Association of Construction Companies, and we also have software companies who join us, obviously, as they have a vested interest in the industry. These partners usually are present at most of our meetings as well.
So do you have some active projects that you'd like to also discuss with us?
Yes, of course. Through our interventions, we want to ensure the digital shift, and we do that through mainly the events that we run several times a year, where we have specialized intervention or speeches where people come and explain their techniques and their BIM management strategy. We try to make it very specialized and very advanced. There is no marketing or anything like that. So they're more like classes that people come and follow. And there's Q&A sessions afterwards. And we also have a moment where we can share together and exchange ideas in a launch session. The idea, our main projects are threefold. We want to establish targets and actions. We implement actions, and we frame interventions. These goals that we promote are taking place through mostly two big ventures that we have. One of which is the IQC 4.0, the Initiative for Quebec Construction 4.0. And this is an initiative where we run a diagnosis of 400 companies throughout the province, and we want to basically make an inventory of their competencies and see what they can add to their competency portfolio and where they can do more work to advance their shift towards the digital functioning of their companies. We also have, so you see here on the slide, you can see our group up there. We also collaborate with GRID, which is the research chair at the École de Technologie Supérieure, or Higher Technology University in Montreal. We also have a multi-sector roundtable. That's a table where we meet all the players from industry, and we establish a strategy together based on science and knowledge derived from the chair. The multi-sector roundtable is a very important part of our sector, of our activities. This is where we get all the different players, government, engineers, architects, general contractors, and also all the different companies in construction and architecture. We have them around a table, and we meet about twice a year to establish goals and strategies that we want to deploy in our province and across Canada. So the idea behind this shift is to improve performance of the built environment and its execution, to increase productivity, promote and increase competitiveness of industry, and also, of course, ensuring sustainability of industry. Through these four means, what we want to do is to increase the performance of construction, of the construction sector and the built environment, through attaining basically all these transitions.
Great. And please also tell us about the next steps that you have, the strategies, and also about the initiatives that are the main BIM strategies for you.
Yes. So besides the roundtable, as I said before, we have the Initiative for Quebec Construction 4.0. This is funded by the Ministry of Economy, so the government is one of our very important partners. And basically what we do is, after we set up the strategy, the means, and the focus of this initiative, the government comes in and funds diagnoses and locomotive programs. So the diagnosis is basically to make the inventory of 400 companies within the community. Then we produce a digital sort of a diagnosis where companies know what they have so far, what they have accomplished, and what they have left to accomplish in order to reach the ultimate goal. The other thing we have is a locomotive or powerhouse program, where we select a number of businesses and companies that have reached a very high level of BIM implementation within their company and with their partners and subcontractors. And we take those as examples or windows into an advanced BIM strategy, so that other companies can, if you will, imitate these actions to reach a high level. So the idea behind the IQC 4.0, the initiative, is to engage and mobilize industry players towards the shift, to structure efforts and develop measures with regards to the digitization of industry, deploy efforts and measures, if we can go back. So the idea is after we've done all this, is we want to make sure that we collect data throughout the process, so we can actually measure the progression of this initiative and its impact on the local economy. Of course, this is also to be able to justify this initiative, so we can get more funding from government to go even further with this and support companies in their deployment of BIM and digital means. So ultimately, what we try to reach is to increase and harmonize the demand for digitally supported project delivery, including BIM for public projects. So basically, in many industries, the problem is that owners or people who will actually launch projects will not require BIM or will not require a high level of digital information. So what we try to do is we not only act with the local industry players, but we also try to send the message towards owners and government and other bodies who will launch big projects, so that they can understand why they need to launch it in a digitized process, and so that they can collect the data that will add value to their life cycle of the projects afterwards. So phase one we have 3 phases in this initiative, and phase 1 is complete. We have had full integration of companies. We're now through phase 2, and in this phase, we are basically engaging new companies, small and larger businesses, to complete the diagnosis, to be able to transition towards a full implementation of BIM in industry.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We have another question. So how and why do you support the BIM Excellence Initiative community? And you have presented already the BIM Dictionary today, and yesterday Macro Adoption Project, and tomorrow we will also have some other projects. How do you see the ongoing projects of the BIMe initiative, and how your company, the organization, helps us with these projects?
Well, we personally and as a group, we find the BIM initiative extremely important, mostly as it allows the community to really progress and have the right information. What's really special about BIMe is that the information is made publicly available for almost no fee, which is excellent. As a group, we contribute to the dictionary as Professor Eric Poirier is the head editor of the dictionary. We also have Vincent Carignan, Aurélie Deboissieu, Dimitri Dagneau, who contribute. And we also have Iman Shikri, who is our external reviewer for this project. So basically what we do is we contribute with definitions or addition of definition, and also a translation into French.
Great, thank you so much. We will go back to Damir now, because we have one other question from the audience.
Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation, Simon. Thank you, Argavan, for leading it. I have one question for Simon. Simon, it says, as you may have seen, the tremendous support of the BIMe initiative is receiving from so many great volunteers. What are your thoughts on the role that a community like BIMe initiative can play in encouraging digital transformation? Part of it you already answered. Maybe what do you think?
Well, I think I may have said a little bit about that already, but let me just repeat myself and be clear. I think it's really important in this kind of environment, in this kind of industry, that there are initiatives like the BIMe. It is quite unique in itself right now in the world, I believe, because the access to information and the coherence between the tools, the fact that the database is clickable and that people can actually derive a large amount of knowledge very quickly and click in their own language to find the definitions and to find coherence and consistency really. That really helps many different communities and countries around the world to build their knowledge base and to use the BIMe initiative and dictionary as a source of reliable quotes that they can use in their documents. They can refer back to it. They can use it for government documentation. They can use it for internal documentation. It allows for any person in charge to read through the databases and understand BIM in a more coherent and consistent way. That's really important. I think the BIMe initiative plays an essential and unique role in doing that in many different countries and communities around the world.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your answer. Thank you. We really appreciate your support in BIMe initiative and support that it receives from GBQ. And it has really helped us to make the knowledge more accessible to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you.
Same here. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now we have reached the end of our day 2 of the first Excellence Seminar. I would like to thank our presenters of the day, Bilal Sukar, Marcia Bolpani, Eduardo Tavares, Arkavan Akbarye, Stepanka Tomanova, Georgios Kapugianis, Dimitri Dagneau, Lorena Luedi, and Oriola Brahov. Also, I'd like to thank our moderator, Lotka Duma, and our supporter, Mr. Simon Bredoux, from Group du BIM du Quebec. And our staff, the Dream Team, who have been preparing 2 months for this moment. Arkavan Akbarye, Bilal Sukar, Bruno Motta, Burku Barutku, Lorena Luedi, and Paula Motta. Thank you for your contribution in sharing knowledge and experiences with the public. They represent a huge community with more than 130 volunteers from 40 countries that work a lot to improve BIM Excellence Initiative. Tomorrow, we will have at the same time the 3rd day of the Excellence Seminar, and we will discuss insights from our growing community, integrated information project, followed by questions and answers, and you'll get to know another BIMe supporter. Our special thanks goes to you for joining us today, for your questions and your support. Don't forget to visit our website at bimexcellence.org, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.